You've got to have a bug out plan when disaster strikes. I just got through listening to a short 9-minute video that was shared by a friend. And it was about geomagnetic watch and stuff. And they was talking about he lives in British Columbia. And the wildfires are going to be really bad this season, he said. He can almost guarantee it. And what are you going to do when you have to evacuate? Do you have a bug out plan? Do you have a place that you're going to go when things get really rough? Do you? Because if you don't, you might find yourself in a very awkward situation. You really might. Some people may shelter in place. If you have children and stuff like that, he said, you may consider sheltering in place. It all depends on where you're at. Hello. It is really an important question to ask yourself. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? The first thing he did say, you better be around a lot of like-minded individuals. Maybe not a lot, but you better be around some like-minded individuals who have the same type of mentality that you have. That would kind of guarantee your survival rate, truly. You don't want to be around individuals who are not like-minded. You don't, but you got to have a plan. Do you know what's in your bug out plan? What are you putting your food in? He said, 5-gallon containers that have a lid with a handle. You can do that. And he has a pull-behind trailer. He said he had a 22-foot pull-behind trailer that he has had to bug out in before, but it was only for a day. But he said it took him a couple hours just to pack it. And no, you've got to have a plan. You've got to prepare. You've got to prepare for unlikely event like that. You do. There's always going to be these unlikely events in the world, and some of these unlikely events will become more numerous. And waiting to the last minute to plan out what you're going to do, it's going to be really, 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 really stressful. Real stressful. If you wait to the last minute, I think I'm going to do this. You're going to be so scattered brain, you ain't even going to be able to think straight. If you wait to the last minute to say, I'm going to do this, guess what? A whole lot of other people are going to wait to the last minute. To the last minute, you might find yourself on the road in bumper-to-bumper traffic. You may find yourself on an empty tank of gas. You just may. You want to go to the gas station? Well, guess what? Everybody else is going to the gas station too. They're going to get out of the cities. There. They say, it's not safe in the cities. I got to get out. They got to get out. What are you going to do? You've got to have a plan. You've got to have a plan in place. You've got to find like-minded individuals if you're going to bug out by yourself, or they said you can go to a campground. Campground would have a place to cook. They would have some firewood or something like that. But guess what? Everybody else is going to be going to the campground. Everybody else is going to go to the campground, and you do not know what type of people you're going to run into at the campground. You really do not. It's not, it doesn't feel like it's, no. It doesn't feel like it's going to be a too good of a scenario if you have to leave in a hurry and you've got a family and you have not prepared for your family, for your children, not even for yourself, because you're going to be forgetting a lot of things and there's going to be so much stress. You may not even have a destination that you're going to. You may not have a destination. You may think, I'll just start driving. You can start driving. He also suggested you might want to get your own map, your road map, because you may not be able to depend on the GPS on your phone or something that tells you, turn here, turn there. No. You better learn how to read a map. And I don't know if there's very many road maps out there nowadays. And that depends on even if you can travel on the highways. It all depends on what type of event is going to occur. Indeed, there can be many events when they say you need to evacuate. When they tell them, okay, you got to evacuate the coast, we got a hurricane coming in, we need to evacuate. We got to evacuate the city, there's fire, we've got to evacuate. Where are you going to go? Hello, Al Honey. You've got to have a plan. You've got to put that plan into a workable action. You do. You got to get ready. Talking about it without planning about it, it's not going to get you anywhere. You're going to be unprepared. You're going to be unprepared. Now, this man was coming from a standpoint, I guess, geomagnetic thing, space or something like that. And he was talking about wildfires in Canada. He said there's going to be a whole lot worse than they were, a whole lot worse. And if they're like that, you're going to have to evacuate. And when there's really bad wildfires, as you can see in Texas, sometimes the visibility you can't even see. You cannot even see to go. Isn't that just about right? Isn't it? You live in a day and age where you have to have a bug out bag. You've got to have a plan of evacuation now more than ever. The only type you used to be able to have to plan for tornado drills. Remember tornado drills? And some were like, I guess they had the bomb shelters and stuff back in those days. But nothing like we're talking about now. Nothing like we're talking about now. This is serious. I'm just going to tell you, it's very, very serious what's taking place. And the mindset of a whole lot of people has kicked into survival mode. Survival mode. And your goal is going to be, you want to survive. Okay, you want to survive. That's also going to be the goal of some not so like-minded individuals who want to survive. And they ain't going to care about human life. I'm telling you right now, they're not going to care about human life. And if they don't have something and you have it, they're going to forcefully try to take it from you. You've got to prepare for that too. You've got to prepare to defend yourself, your place. You're going to be a lot better off if you're around like-minded individuals than you are as one person. Because you can easily be overpowered if you're one person and two person. But the more people you add, the better off you're probably going to be. But you can't have too big. What was the ideal amount in groups? Was it like 8 or 15 or so like that? Now, granted, a lot of people got extended family. They got family, big families and stuff like that. They should be fine, but what about the people who don't? What about them? Your goal is to survive. He also mentioned you would want to go somewhere. You know, please be respectful in your comments. This is serious. This is really a serious conversation. If you could find a place where they had retired doctors, nurses, dentists, things like that, because that's going to do you well. That sounds like a grid down scenario right there. It really does. It sounds like a really bad situation that would occur where you would have retired professionals like that, medical personnel. You know, in times of war, they can do a medical draft where they will call doctors and nurses. It doesn't matter if you're retired. They will call you into duty. They will call you to report. Oh, they'll put you into action. They can do that. They can call anything they want to. They can. Hello, Al and Mickey, honey. The elderly will have a very difficult time. They will have a very difficult time. Yeah. And you can't save everybody. If you could save everybody, a lot of people would save everybody. You're not going to be able to save everybody. You're not going to be able to help everybody. You're not. It's a given. It's a given. Some people have plans. Some people don't. Some people prepare. Some people don't. Some people talk about preparing, and some people talk and put it into action. It doesn't make sense to talk about preparing and start your plans and then not carry them out. No. You've got to have that mindset within you. You've got to be strong on the inside. You want to be able to think straight, because chances are they're going to be very, very stressful times. And it's going to be hard to maintain your sanity, because there are going to be some other people who are stressing out, and they're going to make a stressful situation even more stressful. You want to start learning right now how to balance yourself out on the inside. You really do. You straighten yourself out on the inside. You got to get prepared. You've got to get prepared. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going to happen with this countdown to the eclipse? Who knows? There was someone who said, have you heard the 3 days of darkness associated with the eclipse? No, but thank you for letting us know. You've got to have a plan. You got to have a bug out plan. Going it alone when society collapses or when a catastrophic event occurs, you got meteorites falling from the sky, you got an invasion of Lord only knows what or who is invading. You got earthquakes, tornadoes, hurricanes. No. It's going to get to the point where it's going to be unpredictable at times, because you're always going to be on your toes. You've got to be alert. You've got to be ready. But yet you've got to be able to maintain your composure during all of it. You do, and it's going to be difficult for a lot of people, a whole lot of people. You've got to have a plan. What will you do? Where would you go? Where would you go? What would you do? Your goal is to survive. You want to be safe. You want to be with like-minded individuals, if at all possible. You want to have preparations in place. You've got to have a plan, if at all possible. Some will stay sheltered in place, especially sometimes in a city, because if you go outside your door, that's not safe if society collapses and you can't defend yourself and you can't get out of the city, no way at all. It's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard. And if you have a vehicle that runs, you may have people trying to take your vehicle from you. See those movies where they set up roadblocks? They do. They set up the roadblocks in these movies. They got armed bandits. They hold you up at gunpoint, force you out of your car, and they take off. They take off in your car. If that ever happens, you should be really thankful that that's all they took. That's all they took, and not your life. No, you got to have a plan. You got to have a plan. You can't just wait to the last minute. You cannot. I mean, if you want to, you can. If you want to be of the mindset that nothing's going to happen, I'm trusting in the Lord, nothing's going to happen. The Lord is going to take care of me. Well, the Lord will take care of you, but the Lord also gives you wisdom. Okay? You got to do stuff yourself. You've got to do things yourself. You do. It's just how it is. Because when you sit there and you do nothing, well, God will provide. The Lord will provide. When you're looking around and you see other like-minded individuals who also believe in God or the Lord, and they're preparing, but you're not. Why not? Would you suggest that they don't have enough faith? They don't have the faith that you have? Looks like they're putting their faith into actions. It really does. They're putting their faith into actions. They're doing what they can on their behalf. They're doing what they can on their behalf. And then they're leaving the rest up to God. They ain't leaving it all up to God without doing something themselves. You've got to do stuff yourself. Okay? You do. You cannot solely rely on God to do everything for you without you being willing to lift a single finger to prepare for yourself. Because you know what? It may not turn out too good. It may not. It probably won't. For some who have that mentality, feel I don't got to do nothing. I'm not going to do nothing. I don't need to prepare for nothing. I'm going to be out of here. I'm going to go up in the rapture. I ain't going to do nothing. I'm going to be out of here. By the time that comes, the rapture's going to come and I'm going to be out of here. So I don't need to prepare. Well, what if you're not out of here? And set events come and you're not prepared. You're not prepared. Well, you know what you're going to be like. You're going to be like those 5 foolish virgins who were not prepared. That's what you're going to be like. But the 5 wise were prepared. They had their oils for their lamps, and they had their lamps. They took their oil with them. You know what they told the foolish? Go to those who sell, because there may not be enough for us and you. So they left to go to those who sell. When they came back, it was too late. It was too late. The other ones were gone, and they were left behind. They were left behind. Symbolically speaking, you got to have a plan. You got to have faith. You got to put forth the work at times. You got to put forth the work. You can't sit there and be lazy and do nothing. I don't like that word, but you can't. You can't just sit there and just, look out your window. Is that a tornado coming? That tornado looks like it's coming straight toward me. I'm not going to get up from this chair because the Lord is going to save me. All the meantime, the Lord is telling you, get down in the basement. Get down in the basement. Get up out of that chair. Get down in the basement. Go to the bathtub. Put the mattress, put something over your head. Cover your head. Take shelter. But you want to just sit there. No. This may sound harsh. This is the mentality of some people. Not all people, some people. But you can't warn everybody because everybody's not going to listen. The time of warning is over. The time of warning is over. You've got to have a plan in place. You've got to have faith on the inside that you'll do all that you can, and you'll leave the rest up to God. You'll leave the rest up to the universe because you know that you are going to do all that you can on your side. And then you're going to have the faith. You're going to hope and believe. You're going to pray. You're going to meditate. You're not going to let that hope die within you. You're not. But there's those who will. There are those who will. There are those who will do nothing. Nothing. And there's no words you can say that can convince them. None. None. And that's not your fault. That's not your fault. When people don't listen, it's not. You will did what you were supposed to do. Did you got a bug out bag? Do you know what you're going to do in a crisis? Do you know what you're going to do when the wildfires come? Do you have a plan of evacuation plan? Do you have some bug out things that you're going to take? Do you have your backpack? Do you have your sleeping gear? Stuff like that. Prepare as if you're going on a camping trip. Do you have a place to go? Do you? Or you never thought about it? Because it's not going to happen to you. No one plans to be in an accident. When an accident occurs, they don't. It happens just like that. These accidents that people get into, just like that. They don't plan to be in an accident. They don't. I am going to go. I am, you all. I'm going to go. It's a good thought to have in your head, what you're going to do. Because things are going to pick up in intensity. They are on this earth. Yeah, that's right, you all. If you haven't been told you're loved, you are loved. That's right. I am going to go. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are, in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you for your comments, and thank you, moderators. Love you.